Howdy y'all. Taking the Eurovan for a spin this morning and purring like a kitten. Still happy with everything. And I thought I'd put together a video as promised with a little bit more detail into what I did to get this thing what I consider roadworthy. So stay tuned. I'll detail the inside, outsides, and everything I did to it. And you may have heard in the last video I put a BDF engine block in here, and that is the modification that I had to make for the BDF block to work for an AXK mount. You have to move that one bolt hole, and that's one with a dowel pin in it, so little small modification there, but so far so good. And that's a brand new engine. As you can hear, that new BDF engine purrs like a kitten. Some of the things I did up here, I looked for a brand new one of these. They're about $350 to $400. Part of the problem with the last engine, and I think the reason why it lost compression, this broke and it had been sucking in dirt. The inside of the engine was just full of grit and sand, and I think it just ground itself to death. But rebuilt the injectors, new plugs, new coils, everything. This one I just JB welded that back together, so working pretty well. And got the cover off obviously so I can show you all inside here, but virtually did about everything you can think of. I did delete the rear heater. It had a lot of hoses and things that to me could be prone to failure and not easily fixed or replaced while I was out on the road. It's got some little scratches and dings. I've got the Go Westy wheel and tire package on here, which I'm super happy with. It does raise the vehicle up a little bit, and to accommodate for that I put in the Go Westy spacers in the back and adjusted the torsion bars on the front. And as you can see, it sits a little higher in the front, but under load it's about level, so it's about perfect. New wheel bearings, new shocks in the back and the front, all new ball joints, upper, lower control arms, power steering pump, starter. Of course the engine's a brand new BDF, and yeah. And I apologize that it's pretty dirty. It's one of the downsides of living out in the country. And as you can see on the bottom corners, that's the only really major body damage. It looked like it had been dropped off of a lift at some point before I got it, but pretty much superficial. Still works just fine. At any rate, let's take a peek inside. So up here in the front, you can see I got the Go Westy rubber mat, which has been absolutely wonderful, especially since about a week ago I spilled pop all over it, and I was able to just hose it out, and fortunately went pretty well. I shampooed, cleaned up the inside, new radio, the faceplate on the old one was coming off. Just shut it off while we're in here. And let's take a look in the back. And as you can see, went with the hippie decor because it's a Volkswagen. It's a Volkswagen bus. You have to. Has a table that folds up. Very cool. Lots of storage everywhere in this van. Where Volkswagen could do it, they added storage. If there was a little wasted space, there's storage. There's plenty of storage underneath the seats here. And of course this seat folds into a queen size bed. So tons of room in here, plenty of room for camping. Underneath of here, all storage. Back in the back, all storage. This seat here can be removed. And I mentioned earlier the heater delete, or maybe I didn't, but that's a Go Westy heater delete. It gives you a little bit of extra space. You can put a blanket or something like this. But again, the heater was kind of unnecessary and useless anyway. New floor mats. The old floor mats were pretty disgusting and filthy, and I probably spent 40 hours just cleaning the inside of this van. The tent has some scratches and dings and things in it, but otherwise in pretty good shape. And of course, this has the little cooler underneath the seat here, which is not good enough to cool something that's warm, but it'll keep something cool that's already cool, at least slow down the process of it getting warm. But very cool little addition here, and useful, very useful. It does have the curtains. This is the MV model, so all the curtains slide out. My wife and I fixed all of the little curtain hangers and things in here with Go Westy parts. So very much looking forward to using this for a camping trip. So you can see the camper van in its full glory. And there's a little release here. And as you can see, there's a safety latch here too. So if for some reason you don't get it completely latched, it does help with that. So there was a few small holes in here. I've got a patch on, and let me turn on the light so you can see up in the top. Yeah, plenty of room for 2 people. Back up in there. There's a tear in the back of the tent you can see I've kind of repaired. This does fold up. It'll actually attach on the roof there, which is a very nice feature. Or you can take and slide this whole thing back and be able to stand up in there, change clothes, put on your pants in the morning, whatever. But let's look at it from the outside. And there it is. The Eurovan Weekender MV in all of its semi-restored glory. And you can see the patch that I put on the front there. I did patch the front and the back. Not in terrible shape. It's super important to make sure when you fold these down that you get it all tucked in properly. Again, I got it patched relatively well inside and outside, so hopefully it'll last. New ones available. I think they were about $500 or $600. But the Eurovan MV Weekender. Thanks for watching.